Hey guys, welcome to yet another online tutorial. So today we're going to be doing a basic bodice block, but before we start I want to talk about this product I just got. It's called an octopus tripod and I have been using it a lot lately for my videos. Is what I'm actually using right now to record this video. I just hung it on my window. You can see it's very flexible, it moves around, you can put it on different angles, you can tighten it, to keep it in place so it doesn't move. You can open it up, you can twist and turn the legs, and it also comes with a remote shutter. Although these two products I got separately, but using together it's just been amazing. So moving on, tools we're needing: our measurements, tape, a calculator, pencil, ruler, a tracing wheel, a straight clear ruler, pencil, a yardstick, obviously a pattern paper, a hip or multi-purpose curve, pins, eraser, and a sharpener or something that you can use. So the first thing we want to do is to draw a reference line of 2 inches. Now this measurement is based on your discretion. You can use your discretion. It mustn't be 2 inches, but I like to leave 2 inches so I have enough space at the top. I like to leave that there. So you just mark and roll a straight line across. Once you're done with rolling your straight line across, the next thing we want to do is to put our lengthwise measurement. So I'm taking a measurement from my shoulder to my bust point and then to my front waist length measurement, and I'm going to do the same thing here: shoulder to bust point to front waist measurement. Then on the other side of the paper, the other edge, I'm going to take shoulder to bust point and then my back waist length measurement. Mind you, your front waist and your back waist are not the same, so you also come at the middle and take the same measurement: your shoulder to bust and your back waist measurement. Then you're just going to connect those points together. So you connect your bust line straight across. They are going to be on the same line, both at the front and at the back. Now on this pattern I didn't use I didn't take like a particular bust measurement. I just used the full paper, okay? But you can decide to use your own measurement. So the next thing I did there was to bring down 1¼ inch measurement. That is going to be for my shoulder slope. So once you're done with that, you're going to take your shoulder measurement, divide by 2, and then you mark whatever you get on that shoulder line. Okay, you mark whatever you get on that shoulder line. So at the back I'm marking my neck depth, which is 3 by 3 at the front. I use 3 by 3 inches at the front for my neck depth, and my neck width 3 by 3 inches. Now that measurement varies depending on your body size. Then once we're done with that, we're going to mark the across bust measurement. Your across bust measurement, and then you roll a straight line from the waist to the bust point. Now you can connect your shoulder line from the neck point to your shoulder measurement on the shoulder line. Once you're done with that, the next thing we're going to do is to make our bust measurement. Remember, your bust measurement is being divided by 4, so whatever you get, you mark it and then add extra 0.5 inch or half an inch for ease. And then on the back, on the waistline, you're going to measure your quarter waist plus 2 inches. Now the 2 inches is for your dart, okay, for when you want to shape your do your bust cup shaping, you're going to need that. And then the next thing we're doing is to mark our armhole line, or armhole depth. That measurement is actually taken on your body. You take from the tip of your shoulder to your armhole line. Whatever you get, that's what you're going to mark there. You take it on your model's body. So once you've gotten the line, you're going to mark it for both the front and the back bodies. Mind you, this measurement is taken from your shoulder slope, the shoulder line, not from the tip of your shoulder, from the end of where your shoulder line is. That's where you take it. So after marking on both sides, you connect a straight line. Then whatever you get, you divide it into 2, and then you mark at the midpoint. You mark it at the midpoint. When I was doing this pattern, I didn't check the correct measurement. I made a mistake, so I did eventually go back to use the right measurement. You will see it at the end of this tutorial. So once you've done that, you just need to connect your waist to your bust line measurement all the way to the armhole line. Just connect it with a straight line. I'm just cross-checking to make sure that everything is in place. Now once you've done that, all you need to do is to connect your curve. Mind you, at the front armhole where you marked at the middle, you're going to take it in by half an inch. So you draw a straight line from the shoulder down to that point you took in, and then use your curve to blend up to that line, up to the midpoint, to give you a nice armhole curve. Now once that is done, you're going to take 1 inch on both sides for your dart legs, and then from your bust line come down by 1 inch, and then mark that point and draw your dart leg to meet at that 1 inch line you brought down from the bust line. That will give you your dart leg. So once we're done with that, you're going to measure from your neck point to your shoulder and mark the mid point, the middle, mark it, then you connect it to your bust line measurement. Once that is done, the next thing you're going to do is to take your back waist measurement, which we've already marked before. We're just cross-checking. Then once you're done with that, on the waistline you're going to mark inwards by 1 inch. By 1 inch you mark it in, and then connect it to your armhole line, which is extended all the way to the back. Then for the back neck, we're going to be using 3 inch by 1 inch, 3 inch width by 1 inch depth. That is your back neckline measurement. So we're just going to connect it and then mark. The next thing we're going to do is to check our shoulder measurement. It's already marked, so we just connect it to that shoulder point to make sure that it meets on the shoulder line. Okay, so once that is done, the next thing we're going to do is also to measure our quarter of our waist measurement, divide by 3 to get a point for the dart. Now you can either do it that way, or if you don't want to do it that way, you can still use your bust span measurement, your nipple to nipple or your across bust measurement. You can still use that measurement just like you did at the front. Then use it also at the back. Now when you're putting this measurement, make sure you measure it from the edge of your paper, and that's exactly what I did there. So once you've measured that, you mark it, and then you also measure your back waist measurement and mark, plus extra 1 inch for your dart legs. So once that is done, you also mark your across back and draw it all the way, actually all the way to the chest line. I actually made a mistake there. You're going to see that I later extended it up to the armhole line. Okay, so once you're done, you're going to mark 1/2 inch on both sides of the on either sides for your dart leg, and then draw it all the way to your armhole line to get your dart legs. Okay, so once that is done, you're going to measure what you have on your bust line, because as you can see, it went across all the way to your bust line. So what I have here is 0.4 inches. So I'm going to measure my back bust measurement, quarter of my bust measurement, plus that 0.4 inch that we took from there. We're going to put it all the way at the end, and then the extra 0.5 inch is just like we added at the front, and then you connect all the way to your armhole line. Once that is done, the next thing you're going to do is to measure your shoulder line and also put it down to get a straight line across. So once you've done that, you divide that line into two to get the midpoint, and then you mark. Once you've gotten it, what you're going to do next is just to connect from that midpoint all the way to your armhole at the side to give it a nice curve. So once that is done, just cross-checking to make sure that everything is looking good, and it is looking good. So we're also going to divide our back shoulder into two, and then we'll draw a straight line across. Please take note, this particular pattern does not have shoulder darts. We will do another pattern, that has a shoulder dart. I will do another tutorial showing you how to include your shoulder dart, but this doesn't come with a shoulder dart. So I'm just drawing the neck curve. It's just a regular round neck curve. Now the next thing we're going to do, you can notice there is a difference between the front bodice and the back bodice. So whatever the difference is in your measurement, you're going to measure from your bust line downwards, get that point, and then connect it back to your bust line, to your bust point, because that place is going to be a dart that we're going to close. So once you've done all that, you can see I went back to make the correction like I said earlier, and your pattern is basically done. Thanks a lot for watching this tutorial. I hope you follow us. Have a nice day. Thank you. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and don't forget to give us your feedback. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day. Bye.